Hello and welcome to Bits and Pieces, and today, something that you might think I have a bit of a fetish for, Lego. In this case, the Ultra Agents box. Picked it up earlier today, just on a whim, and thought I'd buy it and review it. As you can see, I haven't opened it yet, so it's completely brand new, it hasn't been looked at. But I've looked over the packaging. As you can see, you've got some guy on what looks to be a hoverboard over here. Looks like a demon, to be honest. Flames shooting out of various different places. I'm assuming that's a missile under there. You've got a James Bond type character, only with a tie, not a bow tie, a regular tie. And he seems to be in some sort of vehicle that seems to be very inspired by Tron Legacy. You know, all the blue bits and everything that supposedly represents energy. Possibly crossed with bits and pieces of the Christopher Nolan era Batmobile, the Tumbler. And there seems to be sticks of dynamite and everything going all over the place. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll open it up and I'll see what I can do with it. And we're back. And as you can see, I've managed to make it. And it looks, like I said before, quite a lot like the Tumbler. You also get this fellow flying on a surfboard, hoverboard type thing with a whole load of flames shooting out of the backside. And of course, yes, my hand is getting burnt. Not really, it's not real. But he's quite a psychotic looking fellow, isn't he? Look at that. He's on fire, literally. He has flamethrowers built into his costume, which is tanks of orangey stuff, which I assume must be flame-feeding fuel of some sort, napalm or something. And of course he's stacked with dynamite. And for some reason he has two megaphones attached to either side of his surfboard type rocket thing. Overall, quite basic, quite nice, but that's about it. Whoops. The Tumbler moves quite nicely. Makes some noise as it moves. Presumably these are supposed to be guns, and it can change its position a bit. And there's of course all the Tron Legacy type influence here. The cockpit opens like that, and he can step out and sort of clamber with difficulty over the sides and so on. I suppose he could slide down there, but then of course there's the trouble of getting back in again. And of course if he leans too far forward you can't close it, so he would probably decapitate himself, or at least cave his skull in by trying to close the door. The canopy. Yes, the canopy. The canopy, yes, that's what it's called. He would probably end up caving his skull in by allowing the canopy to collide with him. The wheels at the back do a bit of a weird thing as well. They do that. No apparent reason, nothing I can see that would actually help them improve anything. Although it does, I suppose, allow some sort of stability. There's also this other trick. You may have seen the red button at the back here. That is supposed to fire a little trick it's got. Oh, it's actually worked for once. That's the ejector seat. Which is just basically this little fellow on a disc with his own little gun, which has this nifty little gun. Now, if you remember back in the day when Lego first came out, they just did not let you actually fire the weapons that they provided. Okay, nowadays they do. And that was actually, when I testified that earlier, it went shooting across the room. I was thinking that was a very good way of losing something, but this time around, it hasn't worked that well. That time it did. It worked somewhat better, but not much. I'm not sure if this is just supposed to be some sort of a skateboard, or if it's supposed to be his version of this. Who knows? All I do know, it's quite a nice feel to it. It's got these little additional missiles in the back here, which don't always seem to work that well. They seem to be quite jammed in there. They're supposed to deploy somehow, but I haven't figured that out yet. I think you're supposed to squeeze them or something, or what, I don't know. But it's a nice looking piece. You can see what the influence is. It's got little additional guns here that don't actually do anything. These little tubes here were a bit of a pain to get put on. But they sell the whole thing, I suppose. Looks like what it is. A Tumbler rip-off. As if they didn't have the rights to do Batman already and could probably have made a genuinely Tumbler-esque Batmobile out of the Nolan films. Of course, if they don't actually have the rights to that particular film series, let me know in the comments below and, well, that'll just be me putting my place, I suppose. The packaging does state that there's a free interactive story app that you can download for your mobile device. That's available on the App Store and Google Play. I haven't bothered checking that out because I'm not actually interested. But overall, quite a nice little piece. That went for about 18 quid, I think it's on special offer. That's part of their Ultra Agents line. Never heard of it before, probably never will hear of it again either. Although I'll probably see more of the stuff in the shops. Oh, and before I go, if you've been watching, thanks for doing so. Comment, like, subscribe, and so on. Spread the word. Toodle pip.